My name is Jenna DeSherry.
I'm Morgan Marino.
And we are second-year vet students at Louisiana State University School of Veterinary Medicine, and today we're going to talk to you guys about animal behaviors that may indicate parasites and the parasites that cause them. So first we're going to go over ticks and mites. So have you ever noticed your dog shaking its head or scratching at its ears? Same for cats. Both ticks and mites like to hide out in your pet's ears. So this guy right here is a mite. It's not quite the same one, but he looks like the species that you would see in your dog's ear. Now they're microscopic, but when they accumulate, you can see what looks like coffee grounds in there. They're going to cause a lot of itchiness for your pet, and they're highly contagious to other animals. And also right here, you'll see a tick. This model is of Ixodes scapularis. These ticks like to hide out pretty much anywhere on your animal, but they particularly hang out near those ears or underneath those ears. Your cat and dog can get these by going outside or in wooded areas, and there are many varieties of ticks in the United States. Ticks feed on their blood, and they can transmit many different diseases to your animal, such as babesiosis. This one in particular can transmit Lyme disease, which we don't see commonly here in Louisiana, and then also other types of ticks can transmit Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And if you look here, we have a specimen of a deer ear, and this is Amblyomma americanum, and these also can prey on your cats and dogs. Morgan's going to talk to you about some fleas.
Okay, so we're going to go over the life cycle of the flea, and if you want, you can follow along on the coloring sheet posted for you. So these nasty little critters are the common flea you might see on your cat or dog. They can get them from being outside, from other animals. They can get them from the grass or even living in your carpet. These guys lay eggs on your pets, on the cats and dogs, and they're very sticky, so they stick to your pet's fur. As your cat or dog scratches or grooms themselves, the eggs will fall off of your pet and onto the floor and live in your carpet. After a little while, these larvae emerge from the eggs, and eventually they will form a cocoon, a sticky cocoon around themselves, where they kind of lay out and hide until their host shows up. They detect their host with changes of carbon dioxide concentration in the air, vibration, temperature, and humidity. So whenever the conditions are optimal, they will hatch, and out comes the adult flea that you'll see on your pet. This whole life cycle takes around 3 to 4 weeks. So it's very important to treat your yard, your house, and your pet, and also keep up with vacuuming so you can keep these at bay. One of the downsides of having fleas is tapeworms. So your cat or dog may get these tapeworms from ingesting an infected flea. They live in the small intestines and usually don't cause any health concerns, but they're just gross. You might know your pet has tapeworms if you see little cucumber or rice grains in your pet's feces. Humans can also get tapeworms. This tapeworm is from a cow you can get from ingesting undercooked beef. You can see the little proglotid segments, and these are the parts that you'll see coming out in your poop that look like rice grains. This is another type of tapeworm that you might find in a sheep.
Okay. The last parasite we're going to cover today is really prominent in Louisiana and other states that have mosquitoes. So this little guy right here. Mosquitoes in themselves are called an ectoparasite. They do feed on blood of us, our animals, our pets. But sometimes mosquitoes may carry and transmit other parasites. So here, if you've probably heard about it if you've been to your veterinarian, heartworms are a really, really common parasite we see in this area. What happens is the mosquito will bite your animal and deposit heartworms into the subcutaneous below the skin area. These heartworms will grow and develop in the tissues and eventually migrate into the bloodstream. Once they enter the vessels, they will travel to the heart, and then they will travel via arteries away from the heart to the lungs to mature. The entire life cycle of the heartworm can take up to 6 to 7 months. And this is why it takes so long for your cat or dog to test positive for heartworms. Because when we're testing, or your veterinarian is testing, we're looking for the presence of what's called microfilaria in their blood. Microfilaria are produced when those mature heartworms in the lungs reproduce and create younger versions. Now, heartworms are extremely dangerous. They are treatable, but behaviors you'll see in your dog will include coughing, exercise intolerance, so if they're panting really quickly when they start to run around, or also just not feeling well. They'll look a little bit down. You can treat heartworms, like I said, but it's really, really dangerous. Dead heartworms can cause something similar to a blood clot, but it's going to be made of that worm, and also it can cause something like an allergic reaction in the body. So the best way to prevent heartworms is to get a preventative from your veterinarian. Now, cats are less likely to get heartworms because they are not the normal definitive host, but in rare cases they do develop in the cats and can cause a much more severe reaction.